Welcome to The Gift of Life with Greg. I'm your host, Greg Francis, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Barry Kaplan. We save lives, plain and simple. Have you known someone stricken with leukemia? Has a family member of yours suffered from lymphoma? Then turn up your dial. This show is for you. We are the gift providing a second life. We are the gift of life. Since 1999, we've saved over 2,700 lives. For many patients with blood cancer, bone marrow donation is often their last hope, and that's where we come in. We try hard at what we do, but we will never be satisfied until we can say, one day, we found a match anytime, anywhere, for anyone. That's the Gift of Life way. So now we have the scissors, we've opened the box, and now it's time to unwrap the gift of life.
Hello, everyone. A happy March 10th, 2015. And it's also the beginning of free agency in the NFL. So this is Happy New Year to all football fans. It's the beginning of the calendar year in football. Also, welcome to our show, Gift of Life with Greg and Marty. Hope everybody had a wonderful week. Marty and I last week took a well-deserved vacation, and we're back and better than ever. Last show recapped what tools and tips should be utilized when writing resumes and or when you interview. We brought in a specialist, Mr. David Rapport, who had a fantastic British accent. He's a technical writer and a resume writer, and he shared on his experiences. We received a lot of tweets after the show. And again, we want to thank David, who said that he will continue to be a guest and go over some more techniques in the future. So really, really good show, and it's really, really good to be back. For those of you who tuned in last show, you know that September is Blood Cancer Awareness Month. And I say this, I know it's March. However, only creating awareness for 1 month will not solve the blood cancer epidemic. So we will continue to spread the word, and we ask our listeners to please do the same. Pacific Islanders are having a real tough time. Hispanic people are underrepresented. Asian people are underrepresented. Our African American friends are underrepresented. Our Haitian American friends are underrepresented. I had some discussions with some minority groups over the last few weeks, and unfortunately, the message is consistent, and I wish it did change. But the message is that people are unnecessarily suffering the consequences of people not swabbing, and frankly not having the knowledge to traverse the waters on how to recruit bone marrow donors. And the suffering means that people, critically ill individuals, are needlessly dying because the word is not being spread enough to get people of these underrepresented ethnicities in the worldwide bone marrow registry. Patients suffering from these ethnicities that I just mentioned will find a match less than 50% of the time if they are in need. That, quite frankly, is unacceptable. We have to work harder. We have to get the word out. On call today is Bridget, Frederick, and Corey at 1-800-9-MARROW to get information on how you can get involved. You can be an ambassador in your own neighborhood. You could be an ambassador in another neighborhood. As long as you spread the word, educate people, and show the simplicity of how to get involved, we could all collectively make a difference. For those who have been our supporters this season, welcome back. We thank you for all that you've done to spread awareness and transpire action for our show and for our cause. Because of you, we are ranked the #1 radio show on 1470 WWNN, our flagship station, as well as being the #1 bone marrow radio show worldwide. And yes, there is more than one. As previously mentioned, thanks to you, our show will be syndicated in 6 major cities by next week. So more awareness, more people swabbing, more contributions, and the culmination of your help will equal more lives being saved. In 2014 alone, Gift of Life was responsible for saving 130 lives, bringing our total to date to about 3,000. About 3,000 families, loved ones, friends, relatives had extra time on this earth to enjoy the things that they wouldn't have had the opportunity to do if it wasn't for a perfect stranger, an unrelated donor. Congratulations, team. And on our team today, we have two people celebrating a birthday. I want to say happy birthday to Lynn Needham and happy birthday to Valerie Hernandez. A very happy birthday on behalf of Marty and myself, and Joy, and many, many more. Congratulations to our listeners. Without all of our collective efforts, we never could have made that happen, and we're going to pass 3,000 this year. So it's extremely exciting. As we began 2015, our mission this year was to touch upon the matriarch of Gift of Life, Miss Arlene Feinberg, who unfortunately passed away in January of 2014. Arlene had a vision. The vision was to find a match anytime, anywhere for anyone that is suffering from blood cancer. In 2015, the goal of Gift of Life with Greg and Marty is to make Arlene's vision Arlene's reality. For those of us who are tuning in for the first time, we're so glad you could join us for Gift of Life with Greg and Marty. I'm Greg Francis. Alongside of me is my dear friend Marty Freund. Welcome to our show. We encourage all of our listeners today, please call in at any time at 1-888-565-1470. Again, that's 1-888-565-1470. We broadcast live from Boca Raton every Tuesday, where it is about 84 degrees right now, every Tuesday evening from 4 to 5 here on 1470 AM. Why are we here, people ask? We're here to spread awareness about the Gift of Life Bone Marrow Foundation, headquartered in Boca Raton, Florida, a life-saving nonprofit that gives patients like our 7-year-old friend Sammy, whom I recently saw, a second chance at life. We want everybody to appreciate, and we want to remind everybody of how special life is, how every day of health and happiness is a true gift of life. And again, please take stock of what I'm saying. Every day of health and happiness is a true gift of life. Before I go any further, as is a staple on this show, I have to thank my own gifts of life, people who make me smile every day and remind me of how lucky I am. To undoubtedly my biggest fan, my mom, Katie, that I believe is listening on her computer in Lake Worth, Florida. Mom, I love you. To my biggest Maryland fans, hello and thank you, Grandma Margie. And to the chairman of our board at Gift of Life, who is a walking billboard from Washington, D.C. to Washington State and states in between and countries abroad. Bill Beagle, who's been doing this for 20 years, really is the poster for getting people involved in our great organization. And last but not least, my gifts of life, my two boys, Nicholas, who is 12 years old. Nicholas, I love you. And Patrick, who we just started Little League on Saturday, and he went 3 for 4. He did a real nice job. We're on the Rochester Red Wings this year. Patrick's 8 years old. Boys, I love you both. I'm very proud of you. As mentioned, our co-host for 2015, and I promise next week we're going to change the header from Barry Kaplan, who's doing well in Colorado, incidentally, is my dear friend Marty Freund. Marty stewards all the walks that we have, which in her repertoire includes Boca Raton, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, D.C., Virginia, Massachusetts, and in 2016, we're looking at Chicago. She also brings a wealth of experience for the Gift of Life with community relations and engagement. And I'm really excited that Marty has been joining us this season on Gift of Life with Greg and Marty. So, Marty, now our next event is coming up, and if you could tell our audience about our first annual Boston Walk.
Yep, Greg, we're very excited to announce our first Boston Walk. It is Sunday, April 26th at the Chestnut Hill Reservoir. And we're actually having a committee meeting with Alec, who is our coworker up in Boston, buried in snow. And he will be hosting the meeting on the 18th. And we're looking forward to a great group of people to share ideas on how to really make this event successful. And we're also really excited that every year at our walks, a donor and recipient meets one another, and at this year's event, it will be a 3-year-old little boy and his family meeting the donor who saved his life.
Oh my gosh.
So it'll be a special moment.
It's emotional every single time. I can't wait for that. You and I are both going.
Yes.
So that, and it's right outside of. People were asking how far out of the city of Boston.
It's not far. It's actually right outside of BC.
Oh, right. So it's in the Chestnut Hill area.
Yes.
Fantastic. So when we get closer, again, is the site live that people could go on?
Yep. They can go to giftoflife.org/Boston Walk. And from there, they can register, learn more about the event. There's contact information on the page. So come find us.
No, absolutely. And we expect the Eagles, the Boston College Eagles, to be out in fine fashion. It may be good if all of the universities up there want to have a contest to see who represents the best at the Boston Walk.
That would be great.
So being that Boston College is the closest, but some of the other schools, there's plenty of you in Massachusetts, try to come out and represent your school in fine fashion. As you see, you'll be meeting a donor recipient meeting for the first time. It's going to be a great event.
And you also have the opportunity to swab. In addition to the donor recipient meeting at the event, we have a recruitment drive. We'll have a chance drawing with lots of great prizes and entertainment, refreshments, all fun things.
Oh, it's great.
Great day.
It is. Every walk is fantastic. It's going to be, and this one is especially, close to the heartstrings with a 3-year-old.
Yes.
So it's going to be fantastic. Marty, I'm going to try on one leg, but we're playing in a golf tournament in a few Mondays from now on March 30th, and the day after is the Jay Leno event.
Right. Jay Leno is coming to Boca West as part of their Concert for the Children, which is affiliated with the Boca West Foundation. And Gift of Life is honored to be a beneficiary charity of the Boca West Foundation, which supports children. And Jay Leno is coming Tuesday, the 31st, and tickets are $150. 100% of the proceeds benefits Gift of Life. So you see a great show, support a great cause, and and the Jersey City Boys.
Atlantic City Boys.
Yeah. Sorry, I had a
They moved from Jersey
relapse.
City. No. They moved from Jersey City.
I used to live up by Jersey City, so it's just default Jersey City. But no, it's the Atlantic City Boys.
Yeah, no, they moved from Jersey City last year, but they were in Jersey City. Now they're the Atlantic. But the Atlantic City Boys are opening up, and it's going to be a great event. The doors open at 6. Refreshment and hors d'oeuvres are for sale. As Marty mentioned again, the tickets are $150 each. All proceeds, all $150, comes back to Gift of Life so we could test more kits and save more lives.
And it's on the Great Lawn, so it'll be outside, which will be nice, right?
Yeah, are you going?
I hope to. I'll have to bring the bug spray because it's been buggy out there lately, so...
Okay, so they're going to spray in advance so that it's more appealing for everybody. But it'll be a wonderful event, and the day before, Gift of Life is in a challenge with 12 other nonprofits in and around the Palm Beach County, generally Boca and Delray, and it's a $100,000 championship. As I said, everybody wins because everybody does get a portion of the $100,000 for their respective charities. So again, great event put on by Boca West. We're happy to be in it for the 3rd straight year, and such they really know how to put on an event with the food. The golf course is immaculate. So really, really looking forward to that, and really looking forward to seeing some of our other colleagues from other organizations in the Boca del Rey area. So today, what are we going to speak about? We have a lot of young people that have been applying to Gift of Life for both internships and full-time positions. And Marty and I have been interviewing quite a few. And today we're going to speak about what you look for in a career. What incentivizes you to choose the company that you want to work for? As David Rapport said on our last show, interviewing is a two-way street. The company is interviewing you, and you're interviewing the company. So we asked people again today to call in at 1-888-565-1470 to see what motivates you to work for a company, or if you're in a company and you may want to be looking to make a transition, what are the motivating factors? So when we get back in a few, we're going to discuss really what incentivizes people today to choose the company that they work for. So we'll be back in a few moments. Stay right here with Gift of Life with Greg and Marty.
ThrowItBetter.com. Do you need help with your bowling game? Are you taking the right 5-step approach? If you want to become a competitive bowler, even a recreational bowler that's considering joining a league, or a league bowler that is considering joining a tournament, you need to see Vince. He's going to show you how to throw it better. He'll get you the right equipment. He'll show you the right approach. And as a certified coach, he'll put you in the best position to succeed. If you're interested, please contact Vince at throwitbetter@gmail.com and tell him that Greg sent you. Again, that's throwitbetter@gmail.com, or call Vince at 954-541-5414.
We want to extend a special thanks to our friends at the Boca West Foundation for all the wonderful work they do for Gift of Life and for all the meaningful service they give to the Boca Raton community. For over 3 years, the Boca West Foundation has generously supported local charities in the Boca Raton area. The Boca West Foundation. It's all about the kids. Are you in the market for a health plan? If so, please visit my good friend Gary at Health Plans Unlimited. No plan is too big or too small. Gary will customize a plan that's affordable and comprehensive, just for you. If you're interested, please visit Gary Goldman, the best in the biz, at www.healthplansunlimited.com. Again, that's www.healthplansunlimited.com. Or you can call Gary Goldman directly on his personal line at 954-303-6676. Again, that's 954-303-6676. And tell him that Greg sent you directly from the Gift of Life. Health Plans Unlimited. We have the health plan for you. Welcome back to the Gift of Life with Greg, the show that talks about giving and receiving. If you'd like to call into our show, we'd love to hear from you. Please call 888-565-1470. Again, that's 888-565-1470. And now, back to our show.
Hey, welcome back. It is beautiful Tuesday in Boca Raton. It's March 10th today, and welcome back to the Gift of Life with Greg and Marty. And before our break, we spoke about what incentivizes people to choose their career. What do they look for in an organization? And we invite people to call in at 1-888-565-1470. And Marty and I have been interviewing quite a few people for quite a few different positions, some internships, some full-time, some trying to get experience. And we have an interesting initiative going on right now that's called the Campus Ambassador Program, which Marty will go into.
Right, so our Campus Ambassador Program for the 2014-2015 academic calendar year.
Correct.
Is currently consists of 8 ambassadors on different college campuses that are working to recruit their fellow peers and educate them about becoming bone marrow and blood stem cell donors, and offering them the opportunity to join the registry if they are interested in doing so. So, Greg, you can speak a little bit more about the percentages, but we're really looking to recruit younger donors. They are generally in the best health and tend to be found as a match at a higher rate than older donors. You can talk a little bit about the statistics.
Yeah, generally about 80+% of people between 18 and 28 are called for confirmatory typing, which is the next step in the process of being somebody's life-saving match. So where we really focused our efforts are within that 18 to 24 range, and the environments where you could assimilate most people of that age are at the university level. So in 2004, 2014 and 2015 calendar year, what we've done is we had a pilot program with 8 campus ambassadors, predominantly on the Eastern Seaboard, and it's proven to be very successful. We are getting people of that age that are most statistically apt to be called. So what we did is we rolled out this program called the Campus Ambassador Program, which was initiated by 2 of our employees, Alec Birkin and Nicholas Hudson, who were both prior donors turned employees of Gift of Life. And we rolled it out where in the 2015-2016 academic year, we're going to roll it out to 100 campus ambassadors across the country. So right now, people have the availability, to go on the Gift of Life website and take a look at the Campus Ambassador Program page and see if this is the right opportunity for you. It's great that you can get involved with people in your social groups at school. Definitely create awareness for all ethnicities. And at the result of your hard work at the university level, more lives will be saved. Because statistically, we're honing in on the people that we believe are most apt to be called. So again, great job by our colleagues, Nick and Alec. And we are going to have rolling admissions for the next 3 months. In fact, I believe that we've had 40 applications within the first 2 days. So it's really an exciting program. We're gonna roll it out to about 100, and we're going to try to encompass different schools that also correlate with the events that we have mentioned before in New York, D.C., Maryland, Massachusetts. So anybody in the United States that goes to university, provided that you have at least a 3.0 GPA, is eligible to apply. And certainly that we're looking forward. So that's really one of our big hiring initiatives. But Marty, when people have interviewed, what has been the overarching question that people have asked? And I had an interesting one last week.
How soon before you make a decision?
Oh, I've had that. I've had that also, and I had an interview with a gentleman this past week, and he asked me, "Are you upset on Sunday night and Monday morning?" And I said, "Absolutely not," but I thought it was a great question. I think he was trying to interview me about how I feel about the organization. And you want to know something? Mondays don't make me sad. I'm happy to come into the office. I love what I do. He asked me if I love the weekends. I said, I love the weekends. I love spending time with my family. But it wasn't an either or, but I thought it was one of the more unique questions that I received lately. And I believe that we have a caller on the line. Nick, you're on with Gift of Life. You're on Gift of Life with Greg and Marty.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, Greg and Marty, this is Nick Hudson. How are you?
Good. We were just singing your praises unsolicited.
Oh, all right. I'll take it.
We were talking, number one, about the Campus Ambassador Program, and Nick, as I just mentioned before, serendipitously is on the line now. Nicholas, if you could promote the program that you and Alec Birkin initiated.
Sure. I think it's important for people to know why the ambassador program is so important. First is what you talked about, in that the percentage of donors who come from that college age demographic is so much higher than every other age. So really, we talk about what's best for patients and what's best for people who are sick. It all comes down to how many young people we can swap. People who are 18 to 25, that's the sweet spot to find donors. And that's really the sweet spot of finding, the people who are ultimately going to save someone else's life. So anytime we can reach out to that age demographic, we're doing something right and we're doing our job. So for us, that's always the most important thing. And I think just by way of how the program's set up and other similar ambassador programs that exist on other colleges for completely other professions, there's a lot of cool collateral benefits too. So another cool thing that comes out of this is you're exposing a whole lot more people to what bone marrow donation and really, what people go through when they have leukemia and lymphoma. You're exposing a whole new group of people for what that means. You know, there are always going to be people who find it, you know, in their lives in some way, whether it's for someone that they lost or someone who battled cancer and lived on, or someone who donated. But there are a lot more people who don't really know about it. And to be able to reach all those other students and tell them why it's important and to show them these stories of survival, that's another, you know, very real benefit. And just that exposure, we hope, will change people's lives for the better, whether it's becoming a donor or just being involved in, you know, an organization like this. And for us, that's a huge, you know, very tangible, but also, you know, kind of unexpected benefit when you think about programs like this. So that's another big thing that we're really excited for, is to bring all these students in who, you know, can learn what great things we do.
Oh, right.
So,
And ironically,
really
Nick, where
excited.
did you swab your cheek?
I actually swabbed in college too.
There you go.
So that's
It works if you work it.
you know, part
Yeah.
of why it's so important to me personally is I was completely one of those kids who didn't really have any personal connection to this. You know, I was lucky enough where no one in my family had battled blood cancer. I was just at a blood drive, just hanging out, talking to some acquaintances, and saw my cheek. So, you know, we hope that that's really a model for other people, is, you know, you kind of back your way into this, and it hopefully changes your life for the better too, just like it did mine.
Nick, that was really extremely well said, and we wish you the best of luck with this initiative. I'm intimately involved in it, and we're rolling out to 100. The topic today, I think, is interesting, and I want to ask you this question, and we did ask you before on the show. We're talking about, to young professionals, what they're looking for in a career, and you're a trained attorney. You graduated from law school, and you decided to work in the nonprofit sector along with my co-host, who is also an attorney.
You're outnumbered right now. We're going to start cross-examining you if you don't like something you say.
Yeah, I know. I feel outpersoned, outgunned. But Nick, first for you, what incentivized you? I know that it's a natural inclination, but why not big law? Why not law, and why nonprofit? What are you looking for in an organization?
Sure. So I think that, you know, for me personally, I've always worked in the nonprofit realm. You know, even throughout college, I was interning nonprofits during the summer. So my mother worked in a nonprofit, so it was always kind of in my blood and always something that was important to me. So I always thought my, you know, career might eventually sway that way. I just didn't know it happened quite so early. So I think for me, just that personal attachment was always very important. You know, I always had this direct connection to things that I did, whether or not it was directly nonprofit or in law school when I worked in family law with children who were, you know, either abused or were, you know, kicked out of their homes, or more than the social work realm of law. It was always related to that. You know what I mean? So for me, I think it was a relatively easy transition. It wasn't like I was going from corporate law directly to that. You know, I did some other things in between in terms of working at a district attorney's office, but even then I was doing domestic violence, so again, still have that kind of connection to people. And I think that you'll find a lot of people who work in organizations like ours to have, you know, hopefully a background of person-based interests, you know what I mean?
Sure.
In terms of wanting to help and wanting to do the right thing by other people. You know, you're not always going to find that. It's not a perfect world, but for me, it always came down to that. And I think that, you know, as far as we talk about young professionals and millennials in general, there are certainly statistics to back up that that's far more important to this generation of graduating students than it ever has been in the past. You know, I think a lot of that has to do with the rise of nonprofits in general. You know, even when I speak to my grandparents, they joke how that wasn't a type of work, you know, when they grew up.
Sure.
They did plastics, or they did sales, or they did, you know, law. There wasn't that wasn't a thing that you typically did. So I think the rise in that certainly corresponds to the rise in interest in it of certain people who are graduating now.
All righty. Nick, thank you so very much. Keep us involved, and I'll certainly spread the word with the CAP program. And Nicholas, I will speak to you soon. Stay safe. On the line right now, we have Trevor. Trevor, welcome to the Gift of Life with Greg and Marty.
Thanks, Greg and Marty. It's great to be here.
All right. Where are you, Trevor? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Boston. My good friend Alec got me involved with the Gift of Life. I ran a drive up at Colby College last year. I'm just calling in to participate.
Fantastic. So when did you run the drive at Colby?
Last April, just before I graduated. About 175 people swabbed or something like that. It was a great event. And
that's almost 10% of the school.
Something like that, yeah. It's a great place, and Grace, I know, is continuing as a campus ambassador at Colby. I think she was swabbed at that drive, so really proud to have helped bring it to Colby.
That's absolutely fantastic. So thank you. We expect to see you at the Boston Walk. How's the weather by you?
It's getting better. It's pretty warm today. I actually, unfortunately, won't be able to make it to the Boston Walk. I'm leaving in 1 week to join the Peace Corps in El Salvador. So that is where otherwise I would be there.
Well, most importantly, Godspeed to you, and it's great. Thank you for helping us, and thank you for helping our country. So, perfect question that we'll segue into. We're asking young professionals what they were looking for in a career, and what incentivized you with the Peace Corps.
I think it's a great question. I know for me, I wanted purpose. I wanted to be doing something that I believed in. For me, this time it was service was a big value for me. Coming out of college, having grown up in the Boston area, gone to school up in Maine, I wanted to kind of get out there and serve others in a way that I'm not completely taking advantage of my privilege that I've kind of grown up with. So serving others, those others being people that are in need, in some of the most dire need in the world, is kind of part of what drew me to the Peace Corps, as well as the personal possibility for personal growth through building up others, but having a lot of potential for leadership opportunity, a lot of responsibility, and autonomy to kind of start projects as I see fit, and be somewhere very different from where I've grown up, where I'm actually seeking out hardship, seeking out discomfort and challenge to help myself grow.
That is fantastic. And one of the words that stuck out is autonomy. People ask, how well do you work in a team? But some of the younger professionals that I've been interviewing ask, to what degree of autonomy will they have within the organization? What degree of creativity? What degree of input? So very well spoken, Trevor. Listen, best of success. And I really hope that the Peace Corps allows you to satisfy everything that you're looking to do, from a leadership, from a hardship, and certainly to help people.
Thank you very much, Greg and Marty.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Next on the line, I believe that we have Fatima from Syracuse. Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct. Hi.
Hi, how are you? How's the weather up in upstate New York?
It's actually starting to get better. I am on spring break right now, but I stayed back. I had some work to do, but it's actually, the snow's melting, and it was a warm, like 38 degrees today.
Oh, that's balmy. That's balmy. So, Fatima, let me ask you firstly, we spoke about the Campus Ambassador Program. The acronym is CAP. How is it going in Syracuse so far?
It's going really well. We actually just had an event, Autothon. It was one of the dance marathon events, and I got to table there. And although I only had just like an hour to do so, I ended up getting around like 70 people. And it was a really good experience, and a lot of people were really energized and amped for it, and were asking when the next drive was. So, and I made a lot of contacts there. So it was an amazing event.
And as we're trying to recruit for next year's class of campus ambassadors, what piece of advice could you give them?
Well, if you're not super passionate about it, I would say don't do it, but it's something that you have to really love and really have passion for, and I think that's what helps bring more people in when they see the sincerity that you have and the desire you have to help people, and to just always, no matter what difficulties you face during, being a college ambassador, always remember that you're doing it to help save a life, and that is the biggest impetus one can have.
How have you negotiated the educational component with your colleagues and friends?
The educational component in terms of what?
Being that it's a voluntary proposition, it's a voluntary process, and the people that you do recruit, you want to educate so they know all the strengths and the potential warts that go along with donating either stem cell or marrow.
Right. I actually, for Syracuse, we have Citrus TV, and that is a news outlet that goes out to campus. And I did an interview, and I talked about what the process is, and it kind of gave an educational component to it, as you said. And a lot of the people after they watched it were just like, "Wow, I didn't even know." Like, a lot of people associate blood cancers with, they would think that you have to draw blood and it's a blood match and all of that stuff. So I kind of really tried to put it in layman's terms, what the process was like, because I feel like people get, nervous by scientific words and whatnot. And so I feel like kind of explaining things in layman's terms really helps people understand and feel less fearful of what they're doing.
So you're debunking the myths.
Yeah.
What? No. That's it's great. I'm a huge proponent of the educational factor. I'd rather people, if they're not interested, not join the registry at the initial phase and know. Make it as transparent as possible. This way, then when people join, the hopes are that they're high availability throughout the whole process.
Right, exactly. That is something that you hope to kind of help with these drives, is kind of explain what it is before somebody just signs up just because they think they're saving a life, and you don't want them to back out, because it is essentially another person's life on the line. So I agree, it is really important to educate people, and I think that since me being pre-med, I know the scientific part of it, but I also know how to communicate effectively and kind of help people understand. So that's helped me a lot, having that combination, and being able to explain to people so that they do understand.
Which you led me into a perfect segue. We're talking about young professionals, although I think you tipped your career being pre-med. What incentivized you to go into pre-medicine? And I'm sure you're going along the axiom of being a physician.
Well, I've always had a desire to help people. When I was younger, I guess there was an actual event that made me want to become a doctor. But when I was younger, there was a writing contest, and we had to write letters to the troops. And I won the contest, and they all came to my ceremony. And one of them was really, really, really touched by my words in my letter, and he turned around and he gave me his Purple Heart. And I think that was the day, I know that profoundly made me realize that I wanted to help people, and I saw the power that my words held to heal, and I knew that I wanted to heal people for the rest of my life. And that was kind of the moment that I was just that is something that I need to be doing. And so since then, I've made that my crusade.
That's a big aha moment in life. So what year are you in, Fatima?
I am a senior. I just got a couple weeks left.
Oh, that's exciting. Are you going to take a gap year, or your hope to go straight to medical school?
No, I will be taking a gap year. I actually realized also I want to be a doctor, but I don't want to be a 9-to-5 doctor. And I realized how much I care about human rights and just people who are kind of facing injustices and how much that affects medicine. So I'm hoping to get my master's in human rights on my off year, and then I'm going to apply to medical school.
Fantastic. So did you look at any graduate programs yet?
Yes. I'm applying to some. My dream school would be Columbia, but we'll see what happens.
Great school right in New York City. Where are you from initially?
I'm actually from right upstate. That's where I'm from.
Oh, okay. So you'd be going to the big city, although Syracuse is a huge school, I think, with a lot of Long Island and New York City representation.
Yeah, and I have family in Long Island, so I've been to the city a couple of times here and there. So.
Well, I on behalf of Marty and myself, I can't thank you enough for promoting Gift of Life, being an ambassador. I certainly hope that you're getting a lot out of the program, because you're certainly helping to save lives, and there's no greater gift than that. I just hope it's as rewarding for you as it's been for us getting to know the campus ambassadors.
Oh, it is. Trust me.
All righty. Don't be a stranger to the show, and it's relatively warm for you at almost 40 degrees, so we look forward for the weather to clear up by you.
Thank you. Me too.
All right. Take good care.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So right now, it's great that we got to actually hear from a couple of campus ambassadors and one that actually initiated the program, which was Nicholas Hudson, and he was also a former donor. We'll take a quick break right now, and when we get back, we are going to talk about what people are looking for in a career. We'll be back in a few.
Are you in the market for a health plan? If so, please visit my good friend Gary at Health Plans Unlimited. No plan is too big or too small. Gary will customize a plan that's affordable and comprehensive, just for you. If you're interested, please visit Gary Goldman, the best in the biz, at www.healthplansunlimited.com. Again, that's www.healthplansunlimited.com. Or you can call Gary Goldman directly on his personal line at 954-303-6676. Again, that's 954-303-6676. And tell him that Greg sent you directly from the Gift of Life. Health Plans Unlimited. We have the health plan for you.
ThrowItBetter.com. Do you need help with your bowling game? Are you taking the right 5-step approach? If you want to become a competitive bowler, even a recreational bowler that's considering joining a league, or a league bowler that is considering joining a tournament, you need to see Vince. He's going to show you how to throw it better. He'll get you the right equipment. He'll show you the right approach. And as a certified coach, he'll put you in the best position to succeed. If you're interested, please contact Vince at throwitbetter@gmail.com and tell him that Greg sent you. Again, that's throwitbetter@gmail.com, or call Vince at 954-541-5414.
We want to extend a special thanks to our friends at the Boca West Foundation for all the wonderful work they do for Gift of Life and for all the meaningful service they give to the Boca Raton community. For over 3 years, the Boca West Foundation has generously supported local charities in the Boca Raton area. The Boca West Foundation. It's all about the kids. Welcome back to the Gift of Life with Greg, the show that talks about giving and receiving. If you'd like to call into our show, we'd love to hear from you. Please call 888-565-1470. Again, that's 888-565-1470. And now, back to our show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Gift of Life with Greg and Marty. It's Tuesday, March 10th. It's about 83 degrees here in beautiful Boca Raton, and the phone just keeps on ringing. I believe that we have Grace on the line. Is this Grace from Colby College, possibly?
Yes, hello.
Hey, how are you? We just had somebody sing your praises, a gentleman by the name of Trevor.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, he just said that he's going to the Peace Corps in a few weeks. So we were talking about Gift of Life, and that he swabbed about 1/10 of your university or your college.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, as we had Fatima on the line before, how is the Campus Ambassador program going for you?
Yeah, it's been awesome. It was definitely, I sent a lot of emails in the first couple of weeks and tried to just get the word out there, contacting a bunch of people about whether I could run drives with their teams or clubs or at the surrounding schools. And then just in like the last couple of weeks, kind of everything has come together. And I ran my first drive last week, and we registered 160 people, which is pretty amazing considering
that is amazing.
What the school is. And then I actually just now met with the hockey team and talked to them about it, and a bunch of them signed up. And it's just cool because, as more people sign up, more people hear about it, more people get interested, and then
people just keep coming up to me wanting to do something with their club or their team, which is really fun for me.
Well, firstly, congratulations. And just to put this in perspective for our listeners, this is Grace Baldwin, one of our campus ambassadors from Colby College in Maine. Grace, how many students are enrolled in Colby College?
1,800.
So just doing quick math, you registered about 8% of the campus.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's absolutely amazing. And I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Fatima. We're going to be ramping up this campus ambassador program from the inaugural class of 8 to 100 campus ambassadors. What would your recommendations be to people that are applying to be a campus ambassador?
I guess I've been a part of a lot of clubs. I've held like different leadership positions throughout my life, but I would just hands down say that this has been the most rewarding experience really I've had yet, because every single time that I swab another student or talk to someone about it and teach them, spread more awareness about the issue, it's just very fulfilling, and it's really cool because you really feel your efforts come to fruition, and it's just very rewarding and amazing, and yeah.
So let me ask you a question. How were you able to get 8% of the campus? What were your recruiting methods?
Well, I guess one of the things I tried to do is just get other students to be involved in swabbing students and get them to help me table, and that's actually been super helpful because, I only know a certain number of kids at Colby, but as soon as you have one other person with you there, that just expands to all of their friends coming up and doing it. And I think that's been really helpful in getting the number of students we've gotten is having a really good base of volunteers who are really excited about the cause and really excited to help swab students and get involved and tell their friends about it and just spread the word.
It's mind-boggling how you got so many people with more to come. The topic of our show today is, and we're targeting young professionals about what they're looking for in a career. So I'm going to ask you as well, what is your major firstly?
What's my major pursuit, like career-wise?
What are you majoring in school?
Oh, what am I majoring in? I'm a biology major, and then I'm also taking the pre-med requirements.
Okay, so you're on the same trajectory as Fatima. What incentivized you? What motivated you to go into potentially medicine?
I guess I just, first of all, am just so fascinated, like innately by the human body. And then from like a more humanitarian aspect, I just think that a lot of the issues in like developing countries and facing our country can be solved by just more efficient and better healthcare and better medicine. And I guess I just learned in my classes and learned throughout my life kind of the power of science and particularly the power of medicine in really making a difference. And I mean, Gift of Life is a perfect example. I mean, what we do could not be possible if it wasn't for advances made in science, and just the fact that you can just take a Q-tip, put it in someone's mouth, and then get their MHD types right there is amazing and astounding, and I think just a really cool appreciation for that.
Very, very well said, and I think the correlation with underdeveloped countries as far as being efficient and having the people to having the physicians to service other people from a humanitarian respect, it correlates very much to what we do. Because, again, as you know, it's strangers. We definitely pioneer, and we're trying to, build up from a grassroots perspective underrepresented ethnicities that don't have the representation in the worldwide registry so that people needlessly don't have to die.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's actually one of my, one thing I try to do is just make people more aware of, like, the diversity issues facing the registry and how if we can increase the diversity of the registry, it could just make a huge difference, and how important that is.
Listen, Grace, on behalf of Marty and myself, I can't thank you enough for representing Gift of Life. And from a personal hope, I really hope that you're enjoying the ambassador program. I hope that it's meaningful to you, and I hope that you're certainly getting some life experience out of it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. No, it's been amazing, and thank you guys so much for having faith in me and giving me the opportunity to participate in this program. It's really been
No, it's been
really
great,
amazing.
and thanks to your efforts, I'm sure that lives are going to be saved more than one. So please don't be a stranger to the show, and best of luck with your studies.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, take care,
you.
Grace. All right, and I
Have a
think
good rest
that
of your day.
you
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I think we have Alex on the line. Alex, welcome to Gift of Life with Greg and Marty.
Why, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. My mother would kill me if I didn't correct you, so my name is Alec with a C, not an X, although, about 50% of my life I have been called Alec.
Yeah, well, I get Marty with a Y probably 80 to 90% of the time.
I got Greg with one G when my name is Gregg with somebody that's been working with me for 4 years. So Alec. So we're all in the same boat, and your partner for the CAP program, Nick Hudson, was on before. So we're going to give you equal and ample time. If you could discuss a little bit about the Campus Ambassador program and what you're hoping that the ambassadors get out of it.
Yeah, certainly. Well, the Campus Ambassador program, has been an amazing experimentation thus far. And I know that you guys have talked about the growth opportunity, that's going to be occurring for the next iteration, which we are very excited about. But it was really a combination of things that enabled Nick and I to arrive at the idea of the Ambassador program. And I think at the forefront of that was our own personal experiences. I myself was a college student when I had the opportunity to go ahead and donate, and then subsequently run a lot of drives on my college campus and swap quite a number of people there. That has really, dominoed into matches for other people, and then obviously my continued involvement with the organization. If I really had one hope for each campus ambassador, I think it would for them to be, inspired by an organization at such a young age, to see the power of what service and nonprofit can really do to a certain individual in providing, a trajectory and life skills and community and all of the above in that regard. So I hope for each of them to have fun at the forefront of everything else.
Extremely well put, Alec. And I got it right, my friend. I couldn't be more proud of you for the initiatives that you're coming up with. Secondly, and I asked this to Nick, and it's been the focal point of our conversation today, another young professional that you are, and I believe that you graduated from Syracuse in entrepreneurism with maybe a concentration in finance.
Yeah.
So I ask you, just like I asked some of the other people, what did you look for in a career when you decided to join the Gift of Life?
Well, this was, a very interesting and I think unique decision for me, being a donor turned employee. People ask me all the time how I got involved with the Gift of Life, and I always say that, it's not something that really I got involved with. It's something that really got involved with me. When you're just going about minding your business on a college campus, studying for your finals, and you receive a phone call telling you that you are going to be a life-saving donor for a woman who is suffering from leukemia, that was sort of, a slap in the face, in the best way possible, with purpose and a sense of meaning. And, I decided upon this career path after graduation because I want to give each and every other person, young, old, middle-aged, the same opportunity to find their purpose. And the best way in which I can do that is to help and pay it forward and continually run bone marrow recruitment drives, encourage people to join the registry so they have the same opportunity that I did to go ahead and donate.
Extremely well put. Alec, I thank you so much for everything that you've done and continue to do. We're both going to fight for Revis right now. Ken on the other side of the glass has given me the 2-minute warning. So, Al, I love you. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll speak to you during the week.
Very good. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Greg. Have a great rest of the day.
All righty. And our favorite caller from Long Island, Frankie, you're on the line.
Greg, buddy, how's it going today? How's everything going in Florida?
It is good. It's about 82 degrees. How's the weather in Long Island?
82. I'll take what we got. It's about 38. I'm in a short sleeve shirt, and I'm loving it. So for me, this is like summertime. It's wonderful. And, I don't even know what that means anymore. But 38 I'll take, and everything's great.
All righty. Frankie, we're going to have you as the first caller next week because Ken has given me the 30-second notice. We'll get back to you. I was nervous that I didn't hear your voice, but please call in early next week and we'll discuss what's important to you about a career. Have a good week and wish Francesca the same. Our listening audience will be back next week. Marty and I from 4 o'clock will be also in other cities as well. Thanks to you, our listening audience. We're going to sign out now. I wish everybody a great week and God bless you all. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to The Gift of Life with Greg. I wanted to personally say thank you to everyone who participated in today's show. And I also wanted to let you know if that you're interested in what we do here at The Gift of Life, please call 1-800-9-MARROW. That's 1-800-9-MARROW. Or you can visit our website at www.giftoflife.org. Again, that's www.giftoflife.org. Even though we're wrapping up our show today, remember, you must always unwrap the gift of life.